Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and once again welcome to another Doctor Who DVD review. This time I shall be taking a look at the Earth Story box set, so as always, let's take a look at the front cover of the set. So on the front cover, we basically have the first Doctor in his sort of cowboy attire, as one of the stories in this box set is a Western, and on the right we have the fifth Doctor is played by Peter Davison, and at the centre there you can see the planet Earth, and I guess that sort of makes sense seeing as this box set is called the Earth Story box set. In the background you've got a few stars and you've got a few patterns going on. It looks all green and everything. Just says Earth Story here. Gunfighters and The Awakening are the two stories in this set. It's the most random set ever. At the bottom, it just tells you the first Doctor must survive the legendary gunfight in the OK Corral, while the fifth Doctor faces an ancient evil threatening an English village in these two classic Doctor Who adventures. Classic Doctor Who adventures, that's a bit debatable, but I'll go into that a bit more later in this review. This set is a PG. It is just 2 discs, so it's literally 1 disc per story. That is what it looks like at the side, quite nice, and at the other side it's the same, and there is where your stories would be displayed inside if you got this box set for the first time. But anyway, that's your box set cover. Now onto the DVDs themselves, starting off with the first Doctor story of this set, which is the Gunfighters. Overall, the front cover to this is quite nice. You've got a lot going on. You've got a few people running away. You've got the first Doctor there, and you've got a few other characters from this centrepiece. And fans of westerns will be quite familiar with some of these characters. Overall, though, pretty cool front cover. And the side is actually quite good as well. Looking at the back, this what you'd expect these days with these Doctor Who DVDs. Of course, these screen grabs are black and white. Sometimes on Hartnell stories and Troughton stories, though, they are in colour. I think it just depends on what DVD release you get. It doesn't mean any difference to the actual story itself, as it's still in black and white. But anyway, this story was by Donald Cotton. Tombstone, Arizona, 1881. The air is filled with the sounds of shooting, cussing and toe-tapping, tunes knocked out on the battered piano at the last chance saloon. And then there is something less familiar, the wheezing, groaning sound of a police box materialising. The Doctor and his companions aren't the only newcomers in town. The Clanton brothers have ridden in to settle a grudge with Doc Holliday, the notorious gambler, drinker and dentist in the Wild West. Tempers are short, guns are swift, and a moment's hesitation on the draw can mean death. I must say, it's quite a good description of the story. Anyway, special features. We have commentary by Peter Purvis and Shane Rimmer, David Graham, Richard Bale, and a production assistant, Tristan DeVere-Cole, and moderator, Toby Haddock. We have The End of the Line, a new documentary about the turbulent third year of Doctor Who, featuring Maureen O'Brien, who played Vicky, Anarchy Wills, who played Polly, and Peter Purvis, who of course plays Stephen Taylor. We have script editor Donald Tosh, news series writer Gareth Roberts, long-term viewer Ian Levine. We have Tomorrow's Times, the first Doctor, what the papers said about William Hartnell's time in the TARDIS, and all the rest, or what you'd usually expect in these DVD releases by now. We have Radio Times billings, we have production information, subtitles, photo gallery, a coming soon trailer, and a digitally remastered picture and sound quality. And this story was originally broadcast on BBC One between the 30th of April and the 21st of May 1966. It was produced by Innes Lloyd, directed by Rex Tucker, and the sleeve text was by Nell Boyce. The cover was by Clayton Hickman. The runtime for this was about 100 minutes. It's about 4 parts long. One thing to note which is quite interesting about this is if you look at the special features now, with all these DVD releases, they all look a little bit different patterns and all that. But here, as you may be able to tell, the text has sort of got like this yellowy wash to it, and it makes it like it's all worn away. It looks all like wanted posters, what you'd see in a Wild West. It's quite a little nice touch, because usually they just go for the plain old white text. So that's quite a good little detail that they did there. Here's your production stuff, and you've got more stuff about the special features inside in this leaflet. And there is a disc, and once again they have the same pictures as what you see here on this front cover. So I'll give you a brief analysis of this DVD release, if you will. I think the special feature, which was all about the turbulent production of Season 3, is by far my favourite special feature on this box set. I'll also say that the special feature for Tomorrow's Times, the First Doctor, is also quite a good one. I always do enjoy the Tomorrow's Times sections on these DVDs, regardless of what subject it is, what Doctor it is. And overall, I think that they are one of the highlights of this DVD release. One of the reasons why you could get this box set. As for the Gunfighters itself, to be honest, now hear me out. I really love westerns, right? Give me a western any day of the week, as long as it's a good western, because there are quite a few bad ones as well, as I'm fully aware of. Unfortunately, this just does not work. It doesn't work at all. I just didn't like it. I don't know if it was because of the different sort of tone they went for in this story, because that is totally what they went for, like with the singing and all of that. It just didn't go well with me, and I just found parts of the story quite boring and quite predictable, really. So, I mean, it's not terrible. There are worse stories, especially from this era of the programme, but I feel that the Gunfighters, it just misses its mark, in my opinion. So yeah, it's not my cup of tea, unfortunately. As much as I do like westerns, it doesn't work here in my favourite programme. So yeah, that is my analysis of the Gunfighters. But there's still time to redeem this box set, as we have another story. And we are many years later, now in the 1980s, with the Fifth Doctor in the Season 21 story, The Awakening. And I've got to say, this front cover is badass. You've got all the characters from the story, you've got the Fifth Doctor right at the centre, and you've got this face, who is the villain of the story, called the Malice. And there's his side. So they went for a sort of blue theme with this story. Quite good, to be honest. This was written by Eric Pringle. I don't think he had anything to do with those crisps, but moving on. Little Hodcombe, 1984. The Doctor, Tegan and Turlough arrive in the small English village, looking forward to spending some time with Tegan's grandfather. They soon discover that all is not well. Tegan's grandfather is missing, and the locals are reenacting dangerous war games from 1643. With the past mixed up with the present, can the Doctor stop games before an evil entity hidden in the village church awakens? Special features include a commentary by the director, Michael Owen Morris, script editor Eric Saywood, moderated again, like the Gunfighters, by Toby Haddock. We have Return to Little Hodcombe, Michael Owen Morris, actors Janet Fielding and Keith Jane, and script editor Eric Saywood. Return to the Three Villages, featured in The Awakening. We have Making the Malice. Visual effects designer Tony Harding and model maker Richard Gregory are reunited with the Malice prop they built for the story. We have a Now and Then, a trip to the village of Martin, Shapwick and Terence Monktown to compare the locations used in the story to how they appear today. We have From the Cutting Room Floor, extended and deleted scenes. Our Golden Egg Awards, Peter Davison is on hand to collect a trophy from host Noel Edmonds. And we have an isolated music track, Radio Times listings, which you need a DVD-ROM for. And we have all the other special features, like a photo gallery, digitally remastered picture of sound quality, production and information subs. And we have the same coming soon trailer, as you will see on the Gunfighters DVD as well. The story was written by... the story was originally broadcast on BBC One between the 19th and 20th of January 1984. It was produced by none other than John Nathan Turner. He produced more or less every Doctor Who story bar one from the 1980s. And we have the direction by Michael Owen Morris. Once again, the cover is by Clayton Hickman. The sleeve text is by Maury Liang. And the runtime for this is 50 minutes. This is only 2 episodes long. As now and again you got this, especially during the Peter Davison era. There we have the Malice, and there's the Malice again. Looks cool like that. Looks really cool, really nice. Overall though, what do I think of this? Despite being 2 parts, yeah, I don't like this story either. I'm not really keen on it. The Malice looks really cool, but it doesn't really do anything. It's one of those ones, again, where you've got a really cool looking monster, where it just does absolutely naff all. And some of the characters in this, yeah, some of them are good, some of them are really downright annoying. Like, this guy here, at one time, they considered him to be the next companion. Could you imagine that? Thank God they didn't, because to tell you the truth, if they did, it would not have been great. So I'm glad they didn't do that, because he was quite annoying in this story. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm not bad-mouthing the actor or anything, it's just the character. I just didn't really like the character. But overall, yeah, The Awakening, I was not a great fan of this story. Once again though, the saving grace of this DVD release, like the Gunfighters, is the special features. They're good. They've got good special features on this, and I'd say that overall for the box set it is definitely the saving grace. So yeah, The Awakening, pretty forgettable. One that I could just easily skip. But I suppose one saving grace of this story would be that it's only 2 parts long as well. So yeah, The Awakening. So overall, Earth Story box set. I've got to say it, folks, it's one of my least favourite box sets that's ever been released by BBC and to entertain. You've got one story from the First Doctor and one story from the Fifth Doctor. It's already quite random, really, and the theme they went for was Earth Story. They could have easily released these 2 stories separately in their own DVD releases, like many other stories have been, but for some reason they compiled them together in this box set. There's not really a common theme. I don't know why they did it. They just probably thought, right, just get these stories out of the way and let's just focus on the next DVD release. That's my guess anyway. You've got the Gunfighters, again I'll say it, Gunfighters, out of the 2, actually I don't even know which one I prefer, but Gunfighters, yeah, it's one of my least favourite Hartnell stories. And The Awakening is one of my least favourite Peter Davison stories. So yeah, what you get here is quite a negative box set in my view. Some people might like this. I know that some people quite love the Gunfighters, and I'm not sure about how people feel about The Awakening, but I know that the Gunfighters, it does have its following. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those followers. It's just one of those things. So yeah, would I recommend this box set? I probably would say, for the time being, no. This will be one of the last box sets that I pick up if you're one of those completionists like myself. This was one of the last box sets I picked up, and I'm pretty glad that it was. So yeah, that's my review, folks, of the Earth Story box set. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, share, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned for more Doctor Who DVD reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care, folks. Bye for now.